do not actually get to answer this well enough. Oh, I started the stream before naming the video. Shh. I might just have to go back and just do it again. So we're almost starting the stream. We should get in 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds and go live. So we are almost going live on YouTube. So it's good. It's good to have you here, Ibukun. Ibukun. Mr. Olayanju Richard, it's good to have you here after a while. You could please always use the comment section and we'll definitely get back to you. YouTube is still loading. I don't know why again, but can you all see my screen? YouTube is still loading. Just give a few seconds to get what. Just loading. I think my network ain't good enough. Okay, I think. Can you see my screen? Let me know what's on the screen, please. If it's a YouTube. It's just loading. The YouTube is just loading. I don't know what's on. Live on YouTube, but it's just in fact I was on YouTube VHS to the source. I'll stop sharing and start sharing again and see if we have then begun. You just give me 1 more minute just to get in hand. Okay, yeah, now good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so good evening and you're welcome to Dear Analyst. My name is Fanio Ayadeji Adedayo, and for the very first time, we're live on Zoom and YouTube. Dear Analyst is the All Things webinar for everything big data, data analytics, machine learning, AI. On the webinar, sorry. I think I have to take that again because I'm echoing to myself. So I'm looking for which one to mute. Apologies, it's my first time, eh? Yeah, so I just muted myself on YouTube, and then we can then come back and start all over again. I'm going to look at this video and laugh again. Okay, so okie dokie, let's then begin again. Good evening, dear analyst, and you're welcome to. I say good evening, dear analyst. Good evening, everyone, and you're welcome to Dear Analyst. Dear Analyst is the all things webinar for big data, machine learning, data analytics, and AI. Here on the show, we run different types of conversations around the career and the industry of data science. You get. So first thing first, we started with Transition Series. Transition Series was a 12-series part where we actually interviewed different data scientists, different data analysts, how they got into the industry. Why? Because very few persons actually get to study statistics in their first degree and actually work as a data analyst or a data scientist. You get. For me myself, my background was in psychology before actually then finishing school with psychology and then actually going to digital marketing. From digital marketing, I then finally landed on Google Analytics. From Google Analytics, I then moved full time into data science or data analytics. So that's one of the major reasons we have transition series. We had transition series. After transition series, We then went straight to expectation series. What should you expect on the job as a machine learning engineer? What should you expect on the job as a data engineer? What should you expect on the job? We brought different persons, or as a consultant, data analyst, what should you expect on the job? You get talking about project side of the project side of the job, the data collection side of the job, data analysis side of the job, and the like. So we had another 12-part series on expectations. What should young analysts or fresh persons who are just joining the industry actually expect on the job? And from there, we went straight down to NDAs, which is non-disclosure agreements, and CNC rather, non-compete. You get, why did we actually do that? As a data analyst myself, I have signed some NDAs and I've got few regrets. So I felt let's actually have this conversation and actually talk about it. So just guide different analysts in their picking of their or in their signing of agreement and contracts between themselves and either an employer of labor or an employer of labor, or just is a side gig or a one-time project. So after NDAs, we then went to data governance. Data governance. A whole lot of young analysts can pull data from the internet, but they actually do not know what they are getting themselves into. Pulling people's emails, phone numbers, and likes can actually get into very, very big trouble. So we actually have to discuss the ethics that actually should bind us in this engagement or in this conversation or in this career. So after then, we then started a two-part series that run side by side. Tuesday we do rules of engagement. Thursdays we do live lab where we teach hard skills just for data analysts. Python, we've been on Python for the past 5 weeks. This Thursday, next tomorrow, we'll do another Python class. So you're most welcome. And apologies for the very, very long introduction. This is our first time on YouTube and Zoom concurrently. So please, you want to say anything in the comment section, I will most definitely get back to you. So let us then go into today. So for the past 4 weeks or 5 weeks thereabout, we've been talking about data stories or telling stories with visuals, and the likes. You get, that is one thing we've actually have been doing so far. Data storytelling, telling story with visuals, all around the subject matter of visualizations. Now, on the Data Analyst Telegram groups, we actually do weekly challenge where we share different data sets. Lessons then come, you work on it. And from that feedback, I actually saw a whole lot of issues that I felt we could actually come and just learn. So it's not like we're doing correction of the likes. We're just trying to, as much as possible, just to learn from each other. You get. Now, this data storytelling, it's a case study of what we're presently doing, what my team and I at the Future of Work is presently doing. And presently, we're actually analyzing the Big Brother Nigeria data. So we are using those dashboards, those insights to actually teach data storytelling or to teach visual storytelling, you get. So now, one of the very, very first key things we should always know about visualization is that visualization helps just to show trends and patterns. Visualization helps to show trends and patterns. It helps us to see what actually is happening in the data. And as much as we want to see what is happening in data, which patterns or which data do we use? Which visualization patterns do we use? Because for visualizations, they are quite much, especially if you're using something like Power BI or Tableau that gives you a plethora of options. You've got line charts, bar charts, a whole lot of chart here, chart there, and sometimes it could be confusing. So as a newbie, I get to see this a whole lot of time. You see funnel charts, you see donut charts, you see pie charts, you see line graph. Everything is just dropped in together like that. So for you to actually be able to communicate, you actually need to understand building dashboards. What should you actually look into? So for building dashboard, one of my very, very first key takes, I mentioned this on 2-3 weeks ago, and I ensure I try as much as possible to share the slides on the Telegram group, is that you ensure that the left-hand side, which is a very, very critical part, you use numbers on your left-hand side. Try as much as possible to put numbers on your left-hand side. Why? There's how the brain is just hardwired or figured or configured just to first look at the left-hand side first. So I always tell persons, you are going to see it in the examples. Okay, I think I just scrolled down a little bit to the examples. Try as much as possible the left-hand side is something you should actually look into first thing first. You get, the left-hand side is something you should actually look into first thing first. Okay, so see here, left-hand side, where we did Ozo. I'm sorry if I murdered the name. You see where we put his numbers again. The left-hand side. The left-hand side is very, very critical when building dashboard. You see here, the left-hand side. Try as much as possible to keep your numbers on the left-hand side. Once you keep your numbers on the left-hand side, it is much more way easier just to then tell the stories. You get, it's much more easier to tell the stories, you get. So we first started, that was one of the things we actually talked about maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. You get, so the left-hand side is one place the brain is really, really hardwired to actually pick things up from, you get. Now, knowing the requirements of visualizations allows you to create a chart that conveys the message, you get, in a clear and crystal manner. You get, so yes, for visualizations, it's all about sending, it's all about communicating already existing patterns, because the patterns are there in the CSV, the patterns are there. Well, how can we communicate it better? You get, how can we actually communicate it better? So another very key thing I've seen a whole lot of young persons or new persons in the industry, and newbies, I don't want to use the word newbie, let me use the word greenhorns. Greenhorns in the industry does is overloading a dashboard. Overloading a dashboard. You get a particular dashboard. I tell persons, try as much as possible just to keep it 2, 3, 4 max. Don't go above 4. If you need to go above 4, 5, and do not please go above 5 no matter what. The less, the more. You get on a dashboard. The less, the more. The less, the more. You get. You always need to understand that. The less, the more. Give them space. Increase it so it is large enough. You get. It is a dashboard, not a puzzle. So I do threads on Twitter talking about their analysts, talking about visualizations, talking about this, talking about that, and the likes. But here this time around, I'll just actually tell you. I saw one particular dashboard and I did a tweet. I was very, very angry. And I said, dear analysts, data visualizations or dashboards are not puzzles. You get, because once you load it with too many charts, it then looks like a puzzle. You get, it then looks like a puzzle. So let's now go. Now see this. Yeah, I'm sorry that the image is quite blurry, but everything is just stacked upon each other, stacked upon each other, stacked upon each other. You get, so you have to be careful when using stacked bar charts. You get, or rather you have bar charts that are side by side, not on top of each other. Does it now mean that you now start tracing lines? Does this now mean that you now start tracing? Let me annotate on the screen. Does this now mean you now start tracing line from here to here and now start doing mathematics? Because you're actually going to submit this to your boss at work or to a client. You want to bring clarity. That's something about data visualization. Data visualization brings clarity to the table. You get data visualization, immediately you submit your dashboards or you submit your visualizations. The conversation should be, why did this thing happen, not what did you do? You get, it should be self-explanatory. You get, so that is really one critical thing we all should then ensure we look into. You get, so that's just it about this. So please try as much as possible to stay away from stacked bar charts. Try as much as possible to stay away from stacked bar charts, especially when the bars are many. You see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different bars. And inside 5 different bars, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like over 7 layers inside just one bar. So it makes it very, very tough. This then becomes a puzzle to your audience. This becomes a puzzle to your audience. Slide 3. Why it's not moving to slide 3? Apologies. Okay, finally at slide 3. Okay, so there are always a whole lot of different types of visualization options for us, but it's actually up to us to know these are the key ones to pick. This is the best ones, you get. So now for line charts right now, anytime you are plotting a continuous variable or a, how do I want to say it, I don't want to use the word variable because we keep using variable and it makes some people just just start having headaches. You get, I'm trying to look for the word. Could somebody just help me with the word? For lack of a better word, I'll use continuous, how will I say, maybe a continuous data or continuous option. You get, whereby this time is not 4, it's not 5, it's not 6, it's not 7. It keeps going on and on and on. That is now the best time for you to use line charts. E.g., we're doing daily Twitter analytics mentions of this particular person by the hour. See, mentions of time by the hour. And for this one, we have 24 hours. But we just picked out the key hours that are actually relevant. See, from 4 a.m., it kept going like this. It shows you the spikes. It lets you understand what the top spikes you get and the bottom spikes. That's something about line plots or line charts. It shows you the top spikes and the bottom spikes. You get, we use it for when you have a whole lot of options. You get, here a bar chart will be too clumsy because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Over 11 hours of the lights. The bar chart will be too clumsy. My desktop seems to just be hanging. Oh, good stuff. Now we'll move to the next one. Now, the next thing is a donut chart. A donut chart. Now, I've spoken about this a whole lot, and if you tend to know me well, I do not hide my displeasure for pie charts. As a data analyst, please try as much as possible to stay away from pie charts. Stay away from pie charts. Why? One of the biggest reasons I've seen, and I also tell you, okay, how donut chart also comes into it. Pie chart, I think, in my own professional opinion, is quite useless. I actually still do not know why. Only if you can then show me how useful it is. You get. So see something about this bar chart. If we closed now the controls are back and working. If we closed all this white space here, it will make it so bulky to make the visualization, or we close the white space here. It will make the visualization so bulky that we'll not actually be able to see it very well. Then two, with donut chart, this is a big whenever you're using donut chart, try as much as possible you are using only two variables. Well, two variables, you get two variables in ratio 70 to 30, something that once we just see it at first, in the first 3 seconds, or the first glance, you see it and you understand it one time straight away at the first 3 seconds. So data visualization has got what we call a 3 seconds rule, which means in the first 3 seconds, your audience, you should be able to communicate to your audience. The audience is able to understand at least some of the key issues that is happening in the data in the first 3 seconds before they now begin to engage you and ask, what are the factors that drive this? What actually happened here? Not what did you do? You get? So here you can see this one, 60% up straight, 37% up straight. Please try as much as possible. Never use donut once it passes 45%. Do not use donut for 50%. It will not appear too well, because if you're going to be using donut for 50%, then you need to use two different colors. You see here, we just stuck to one color, light version of red and a deep version of red, denotating AM and PM. Do we all get that? If you get that, let me know in the comment section that you actually get that. Let me know in the comment section that you get that, so I will just move forward from there. So, okay, thank you. Thank you, Paul. Paul, thank you. Lucent, anything from you? Mr. Mark, anything from you? Okay, thank you. So in the comment section, please let me know, and you can also raise your hand, and I also unmute you as well too. But as usual, I know one person will not talk no matter what. Jola Oluwa will never say anything. Okay, so let's then continue now. Here, now we then have either an histogram or a bar chart. These two are very similar. So in I think in secondary school or in the uni, they used to say the difference between a histogram and a bar chart is what? Okay, Lucent, you want to say something? I'll mute you then. Please, in case you want to say something, just let me know in the comment section. So I just unmute you and we'll move. Yep.
Go ahead, hi, Deji.
Yeah, hi.
So I have a little concern with the donut chart.
Yeah.
So based on the color variation.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think people with color blindness might find it difficult to differentiate the two colors. So I don't know if I'm right or wrong.
Okay, so one of the things we made established last week is that try as much as possible, whenever you're working on a dashboard, just stick with only one color. Somebody was like, wow. I was like, yes, stick with one color whenever you're working with the dashboard, but work with different variants of the color. So I showed us, I also do that, try as much as possible to do that after today's class, how to go and look for all the color codes. So Power BI, Excel, I think Excel too can work with color. Yes, Excel can work with color codes. Power BI, Tableau, Excel can work with color codes. R and Python easily can work with color code. You just make the color code strings and you just run your code. You get to where I'm saying stick with one color, because one color even tends to send the message over way better than two colors. Okay, look at this bar chart right now. We have a very, very faded form of red and other deep reds as well too. Does this send the message better than using red, blue, green? Because at the end of the day, you can only use two colors on a dashboard. One color has already been preset for you, which is white, the background color. Then the other color you then pick. Oh, do I go with blue? Do I go with green? Do I go with this? So you try as much as possible. I tell persons just limit it to one color alone and use different variants. I've been doing it to get just one color and different variants, and it's been very, very lovely. My team and I, we built our best dashboard ever yesterday. It was amazing. Just one color. Apologies, we can't show you. It's a client's job. You get. So those are the things you should look at. So yes, for somebody who is colorblind, I have never had an audience who is colorblind. So I actually do not know how to actually answer that well enough. You get, well, ask around anybody who has actually worked with an audience which is actually colorblind. You get. So in the comment section, let me know your reactions. If you agree with me, you get. If you want me to expatiate more and the likes. So I said earlier that in secondary school and uni, what's the difference between a bar chart and an Instagram? In the comment section. Please, in the comment section, what is the difference between a bar chart and an Instagram? Kende Adigun, let me know your thoughts. Kende Adigun, comment the difference between bar chart and Instagram. Justos, Mark, let me know your thoughts. Difference between bar chart and Instagram in the comment section. Mr. Paul, let me know your thoughts. The difference between bar chart and Instagram in the comment section. The comment section just went empty right now. Lucent, you want to try? If you want me to unmute you, I'll go ahead and do that. Mr. Richard. Yes, the bars are spaced in the bar chart. But right now, most of the bar charts I've been doing, or some of the bar charts I've been seeing, some bar charts are not actually spaced, but yet are still categorized as bar charts. You get? So, okay, so Mr. Justice says bar charts are used for categorical variables. Histograms are used for continuous variables. Yes, good stuff. Yes, histograms are used for continuous variables, just like scatter charts or line charts. But the issue becomes, if you use histogram for a continuous variable and you have like 50 variables, the bars will be too long and the person will not be able to concentrate. Yes, so we also have a particular bar chart like that where we did Sunday to Saturday, 7 days. The bars are much. And because we did that, we then need to substitute with another bar chart. We then need to substitute with a bubble chart saying weekdays and weekend. So there's something about continuous variables. When you use a bar chart, it just gets so clumsy that people sometimes get to be lost, especially if you are dealing with above 5 or above 7. Once you do 8, 9, 10 bars like this, people are then somehow lost. But yes, bar charts are used for categorical variables. So you can put three, four categories together and then move ahead. And yes, there's always space between the bars. There's always space within the bars. You get? So please, if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. So next page. Okay, scatter plot this time around now. What's the difference between a scatter plot and a line plot? What is the difference between a line chart and a scatter plot? What is the difference between a line chart and a scatter plot? In the comment section, if in case you want to unmute yourself, let me know. What is the difference between a scatter plot and a line chart? Does anybody want to help? Mr. Lion Richard, you want to say something? Mr. Femi, you should say something now. Mr. Femi, then Ibukun, you should actually then talk now. Mr. Mark, anything from you? Nobody wants to say something. The difference between a line chart and the scatter plot. Okay, you want me to unmute you? Good stuff. I like that. It's like that. Lucent, go ahead. I'm muting you. Yeah, go ahead, Lucent.
Okay, so for scatter plots, so you just have the like the data point alone. But
Okay.
in line charts, the data points are connected with a line. I don't know how to put that, but I think that should be the difference.
Yes, good. I like your analogies, which really is good. So this is it. I'll just tell you. A line chart is, let me allow me to use this illustration, is a well-defined or a refined scatter plot. You get, it's a refined scatter plot, because in a scatter plot, if you draw line of best fits, you draw line of best fit, and you then eliminate the other variables that do not enter the line of best fit, you already have a line chart. True or false in the comment section. In a scatter plot, if you draw a line of best fit, you get, or you draw a line joining the dots, and you eliminate the others, you already have a line chart. True or false in the comment section. One person says true. Can we get another reaction in the comment section? Okay, Abigail Israel, you're welcome. She's true. Nice to see you again. So that is majorly it. So they are quite very similar, but the line chart is just a much more refined one. And yes, the line chart is best for time series. The line chart is best for time series. Beautiful for time series. And also as well, too, you can even easily use an histogram for time series. Yes, there's even a particular chart I did. I can remember right now. My team and I, we use an histogram for time series. Hour band 1 to 12. 1 to 12. Now, how and why? Yes, you can use an histogram for continuous. We also established that. Somebody established that for us in the comment section, saying you can use an histogram for continuous variables. Yes. So we did 12 hours. 12 hours in the day, 12 hours at night. But you know what we did? The 12 hours in the day was on top, then the 12 hours at night was inverted. You get, I would annotate it on the screen so you actually see what I was saying. So, okay, so this one was the daytime. Trying to annotate. Then the other one was now here, was the night time. And they were bars. So we now put it together, one up, one down, and you hardly know it was a bar chart. You very thought, maybe it's an area chart. They did an area chart or something like that. Yes, scatter plot is suitable for showing relationship between two variables. Yes, beautiful. Wow. Jola, you finally said something. Relationships, you get? Relationship. But I felt it just typed what was on the screen back to us. So you get, so that is majorly it. But I was only teasing you. I'm only pulling your legs. You get, so that is it about scatter plot and line chart. Scatter plot and line chart. Do you have any questions before we move forward to the next slide? Yes, of no question, we then move forward. Then another thing about scatter plot and line charts, they clearly show us the outliers. They clearly show us the outliers. And in this data set, this is the outlier. They just let us see the outlier just right from they help us see the spikes, and they actually also help in a conversation. So they also help kicking off, we call it conversation starter or kick starter conversation. I can't remember the word, apology. Because when the people see the spikes, then people tend to ask questions the most about spikes. That's something I've seen in presentations or something you get. Where's Pelumi? Is Pelumi on the call? We just finished a presentation a while, and the client was asking, oh, those spikes and the likes. Oh, Pelumi has probably gone somewhere. So you get, so spikes and the likes, spikes. I'm trying to move to the next slide. I don't know what's up again. Sometimes it works and sometimes the control just goes, okay. Is that the last slide? Okay, I think that is the last slide. Okay, so now finally the final slide. One of the reasons we try as much as well to cut down this Tuesday session so that we can have a one-on-one engagement. People can ask questions and we can then really move forward. You get. So now let this last chart guide you. You get. I'll be using this last chart for a very long time. Let it guide you. It will give rest of mind a lot of times. And please still try as much as possible to ensure that on your dashboard, on your visualization, less is more. Less is more. Like less is more. You get, less is more. I need to actually reinforce that. So for relationships, yes, scatter charts and bubble charts. You're going to see before whenever you are showing relationships, you get between two variables, use scatter plot or scatter chart. You can also still use a line chart as well. But when it's already three variables, use a bubble chart. When it's three variables, use a bubble chart. I still even use bubble chart for two variables. E.g., when we did weekends and weekdays, histograms and box plots can also be used to show outliers. Yes, yes, yes. Those bars will just be way, way longer. Box plot. I tell my team, run away from that thing because it's the audience matters a lot when you're doing data visualization. Please. And that's something I've seen from the stats from people who have got very strong statistics background. Statisticians, or how will I say, yes, statisticians and some machine learning persons, or people who do deep learning, do not always tend to think we need to give extra effort to data visualization. They say, no, people should be able to understand it. Please don't make the assumption that people understand it. Please ensure it is simple and well enough, well polished. Please, you get statisticians don't polish their charts at all. If you see statisticians chart, you think they're just talking to themselves alone. You get so bubble chart, yes, very, very beautiful. I see use bubble chart for two. It sends out the message out for two. Yes, a particular time I use for three or four. I put it out there, and one of my very, very good respected persons was like, this thing, it's still quite much. You get, I use it for four variables, and the four of them had different colors. You get, even with BB Nigeria as well that we're doing presently, we use it for four different variables, and they're like, say the colors is still too much. It's not a coloring context or the likes, but all the same, we keep learning and we keep moving forward. Yes, box plot is easy to show outliers as we are talking as analysts, but you must put your audience in perspective. People that are looking at this thing, make the assumption that you will not be there when they are looking at the charts. Imagine with BB Nigeria analysis and we're now doing box plot. People will be like, what's happening here? It is because you're an analyst or the likes. Until I started learning data science and the likes, I did not know what box plot was, but I know what scatter plot was. I know what bar chart is. I know what line chart is. At least a little bit of my Google Analytics knowledge showed me all those things. When I now got into data science, I see box plot. What's this? You get? Yes, thank you very much for agreeing with me. If you disagree, let me also know. You get? So these two charts, please look into, especially bubble charts and scatter plots. Really, really look into it. Really, really look into it. So see this one, say, for a single variable, distribution for a single variable. Now, why did we use for the hour band? We just use histograms. Why did we use? Because it's just hour. First hour, second hour, third hour, fourth hour, just one variable, which is the hour. You get? Then what is this? Line histogram. Wonderful. Scatter chart again shows as two variables for distribution as well. So scatter chart, yes, it's a very, very useful chart. It can be used for distributions, can be used to show relationship, correlations, and the likes. 3D chart, I'll tell you, stay away from it. Once your chart is fine enough, stay away from it. Anywhere you see pie chart, just duplicate it with donut charts. You get? Because donut chart just helps just to send the message. The inner circle for that donut. Although actually the pie chart is also a donut. So we've got two different types of donuts. We've got the British donut and the American donut. One has space, the other one does not have space. So in the comment section, let me know. British donut, American donut. Which one has space between it? Which one is the donut chart? Which one is the donut chart? Because pie chart is actually donuts. Which one is the donut chart? Let me know in the comment section. You get? So 3D chart. 3D chart sometimes may be very, very hard to also present too. You get? If you cannot rotate it well, you get? If you cannot rotate it, 3D chart might just be very hard to actually rotate or to. If you cannot rotate your 3D chart, this one says Nigeria in the comment section. Nigeria. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so now let's now go to comparisons. When you are comparing, you get see comparing. When you're comparing over time, when you're comparing over time, these are the charts to use, or these are the visualization to use. Yes, line chart, very, very solid chart. I tell you, line chart, the clarity line chart brings. And something about line chart is that I think line chart is actually best with just two variables. Two variables and make them deeper or lighter color. One in a very deep shade, the other one a lighter shade. You get, it will send the message in very, very well. You get, the clearer your dashboard or the clearer your visualization, the much more better you can then drive home the conversation. Now, data visualization is just majorly for decision taking. You get to most of the times when we develop dashboards, when we do insights for most of our clients, like I say, one of the clients we're actually working with, I said, Balumi, I was actually meant to say Simi. One of the clients we're actually really working with, whenever they see the dashboard, they cannot, you need to give them clarity. That's what dashboard or visualization is all about. Clarity, clarity, clarity. So if you cannot bring clarity to the table and you then bring confusion to the table, then you have not actually done your job. You have not worked. You have not done a good job. You have not worked at all. So it is when you have not brought clarity to the table, you have now done a good job. So you see different types of bar charts and the like. So see this bar chart, no space, and yet it's still a bar chart. You get, then there is column charts and the likes, you get, and the area chart. So area chart, I think one of the last time I used area chart, I can't remember. I think it was maybe early this year or late last year. That was one of the very first time I used area chart. But I'll tell you my top 5 charts any day. First thing first is bubble chart. It sends a message. Well, donut chart being the second. The third is the line chart. Fourth is then the scatter plot, and the fifth is the histogram. Those 5 I must always engage and deploy them on dashboards. I must always engage and deploy them on dashboards. Yes, I sent all of this into the Dear Analyst Telegram group. I hope you're in the Telegram group. You get everything on the Telegram group. So please, if you want to ask questions, it's a very good time to ask questions. Please, it's a very, I think I skipped one. I was saying it. I think I skipped one. I was like, so see this one. Just we're also using bars. We'll see different bars, but from a lighter version, it kept getting deeper. It just sends which one is better, the one on the left or the one on the right. I probably just jumped this slide, the one on the left or the one on the right. In the comment section, please let me know the one on your left, on my left, or the one on the right. Okay, maybe Niger one or the one with bar charts. Nobody wants to say something in the comment section. The right. Okay, thank you very much. Right. So remember, on your dashboard, try as much as possible to stick to one color. Why? Because one color has already been predetermined for you, and that one color that has been predetermined for you is called what? The white color. You get the white color that comes with your Canva. That comes with the Canva. You get, so on. See about bar chart. This is not just a bar chart. This is I think a composite bar chart because they have 3 different variables. What's the name of this bar chart? Who can tell me? This is definitely not a stacked bar chart. This bar chart here that I'm hovering around, who can tell me in the comment section the name of this bar chart here? The name of the bar chart in the comment section that I just annotated or painted. What is the name of the bar chart? See here, they offer a great amount of information in a quick glance. That quick glance is what I was telling you about the 3-second data visualization rules. Components, okay, beautiful. Yeah, beautiful component bar chart. This is good stuff. Jalaluwa, good stuff. He said they are best compared values within the same categories. You get value the same category. You get, e.g., comparing sales for different products over the years. You get sales for different products over the years, which is really good. So please, any more questions before we then wrap up today's event? I want to say a very big thank you for everybody for coming. This is our first time shooting live on Zoom and on YouTube. It's really amazing. I can't wait to go and watch the video and laugh at myself. Like I was literally echoing back to myself in the YouTube video. We might just have to take it down and just edit it and just publish again, or just leave it there for just to laugh at myself. So please comment in the questions and comment. This is the time we then get to ask questions. We tend to say, oh, you said something earlier, I did not agree with you. You get, Mr. Paul, go ahead, ask your question. Abigail, you want to ask a question? Ibukun, you want to ask a question? This is a good time to ask a question. You can just raise your hand or let me know in the comment section. I'll mute you, and then we'll then move forward from there. Lucent, you want to say something? Tony, you want to say something? Aziz, a question? Nobody wants to say something. Everywhere just went silent. It's like a silent night now. Okay, Tony says nothing from his end. Is it because it's not machine learning or the likes? We'll get into machine learning and deep learning, I tell you. The journey is still far, so let's just take it a step at a time. Kende, you want to say something? I remember Kende was actually asking me to do something on WhatsApp. What was it you were talking about? Yes, was it Bing analysis or one analysis you're actually asking for? Kende, you want to talk about it right now? So in the absence of no questions or the likes, I want to start sharing a very big thank you. So I want to say a very big thank you to Tony and Aziz. They've been the one running the day analyst so far, so good. A very, very big thank you to you. Aziz worked on the PowerPoint and also sent out mails. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I did not count this lightly. I also want to thank to everybody who's actually in this show, Justus, your contribution, Mark, Richard, Olowu Adekunle. Olowu Adekunle, this is like my first time of me seeing this in the comments, seeing your name. Are you a first timer? Should I unmute you? Olowu Adekunle. Is this your first time on the show?
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah, so it's my first time.
Good stuff. The line is breaking.
I actually joined in a bit. I'm sure I'll catch up. But I'm sure I'll catch up one way. Maybe check the recording out or something.
Okay. So what do you do for a living? Olowu Adekunle?
Business analyst.
Nice.
And then I'm trying to transition into product management anyways.
Into
product manager.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay. Product seems to be like the next big thing right now. Everybody is products. But that is fine as well too. Go ahead. You want to say something? Everybody just running into products now. Adekunle, you want to say something?
Yeah. So I feel that
Go ahead.
it's just so I feel that it's just the way the whole business world is shaping up and all that. So it looks more like companies are moving away from the traditional way of business where you have an analyst come in and then try and analyze what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right, and now they're not trying to find a solution after you have built everything already, which is a lot of work. So why don't you get a product person who ensures that you're not building for the customers, but you are building with the customers so that you can avoid those pitfalls in the first place. So I think maybe that's why and I think it's actually a very solid, it's a very solid strategy as well. So yeah.
Good stuff. Well done. Good stuff. Well done. Yeah. So to everybody who has joined, I really, really appreciate you. Mark, I think this is your second or third time. Andrew, Richard, you're not around last week. Thank you so much. This is a place we tend to draw the curtain, and then I'll send this PowerPoint into the Telegram group. Please, who has the link to the Telegram group? So we just share. Aziz or Tony, can you help share the link to the Telegram group? Thank you very, very much. Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, he talked about vendor sentiment analysis. Yeah. Okay, so one of these days, just see, with their analysis, a very long journey. So yes, we're going to embody a whole lot of things, break down a lot of things. Vendor sentiment analysis. We're going to do Bing sentiment analysis. Bing sentiment analysis is just positive and negative. You get so there's a lot to this thing. So when person says it's always visualization, like we need to first build a very, very strong, solid ground, and also ensure that all of this solid ground we have also put is also online, whereby we can always go back and then read or rewatch it. And even one of our plans also even to go to Mixler, because some persons are still saying, hey, because of the data cost, they still cannot come on Zoom. But somebody then suggested Mixler. If it's on Mixler and can just only listen and the person can then imagine, yes, at least a whole lot of persons still go back to listen to the anchor. So the anchor streams, I think I've had over maybe close to 700 streams so far, so good. You get, so don't worry, we're going to still sit down on all the recordings, even everything that is on anchor is still half 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We're going to sit down on all the recordings, edit everything, and then push everything out. Push everything out. So I want to say a very big thank you to everybody. Oluwatoni, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Adedeji, Jolalua, thank you so much. I said today, like back to back responses or back to back additions and comments. Thank you so much and good night. On Thursday, we'll continue our Python classes. I really appreciate you for this. Thank you so much for coming and good night.